I have a special guest joining me today on Primetime Local News. Dwayne Friedrich is here. He's the president of the Sask Alta Radio Club. Thank you for joining me today, Dwayne.
Well, thank you for having us. Thank you.
Well, for those who don't know, Dwayne, can you tell me a little bit about the radio club itself? What is it that the members and yourself do?
Well, the Sask Alta Radio Club it's an amateur radio club, and often a lot of people think that's like broadcast radio. It's not. This is the term is that we're the ham radio operators. That term ham, if anyone's listened to that before. So our club is actually an affiliation of our local members. We're about 30 to 60 active people. And it's a hobby. It's also leads into STEM, science, technology, engineering. We've got some younger people. Obviously, you'll see in me, I'm not one of the younger members, but it's quite a age group. And it's a hobby in which we have fun in dealing and making contacts with people around the world peer to peer. And when I mean peer to peer, there's none of that. We can use internet, but there's none of that. It's actually from my wire antenna in my backyard to that guy in Italy and whatever antenna he has. Nothing in between us. So no satellites, nothing like that. We're just relying on our radio waves bouncing around the world.
Well, today is D-Day, which is a very special day
Correct.
to remember and commemorate. And the Radio Club is doing something all month to mark the anniversary of D-Day. Can you tell me about the special call sign that you guys have?
Yes, we went and approached the federal government as it. I'm just going to use their term. It's the Department of Innovation, Science, Economic and Development. As we get a special call sign from them, we can ask and request to make for these events. And in this case here, we got Victor Echo 6 Delta Delta Alpha Yankee, which is D-Day. VE6DDAY. The VE stands for Canada, which is recognized around the world anytime. In fact, a lot of people like to talk to Canadians. We're friendly. And 6 is the province of Alberta. If it was in Saskatchewan, it would be 5. And of course, then the D-Day for D-Day. We wanted to do something to commemorate and remember the sacrifice of all those thousands of Allied soldiers. We had 14,000 Canadians involved in Juno Beach landing and all through that wartime. Radio was, radio communications was becoming quite important in the Second World War. So again, celebrating and recognizing the use of radio and the loss of our friends and family members and giving us the lifestyle that we have today. So we're operating this call sign from various locations throughout the month of June. And what I mean by operate is we're going to sit down and we're contacting other people. And when we contact them, these people will post and the word will spread. And others like to make contacts to these special calls. And we're going to give everyone that contacts us a certificate for that recognition that they made a contact with us.
Well, there are some special events you guys are also hosting where the call sign will be used. One of them is going on right now in Vermilion, and the next one is happening at the Legion in Lloydminster. The Vermilion one is at the Armory there. Can you tell me about those two events, Dwayne?
Yes, at the Armory, that's Lieutenant Craig Armory in Vermilion. I think hopefully I pronounced his name correct. One of our other members, our past presidents actually, Don Henry, has been very instrumental in keeping that armory operating and going on. So they've got an amateur radio station set up in there, and they started operating that yesterday at 5 p.m., which was at the same time as the invasion started. So that means June 6th in Europe. And they've been operating it for 24 hours. Last night, when I checked with them during our meeting, I think they've already had about 50 contacts made. We've also had another member using the call sign from his home. So total, we've already made about 200 contacts around the world in various forms. So that event's going on. We've had some guys manning it 24 hours a day in that location, and they would welcome people to come and have a visit. But by the time this airs, maybe they'll be done. And then the Legion is coming up next on this Saturday here in Lloydminster. So
Same
on
type of a
Saturday,
situation?
the Lloydminster Legion, we're going to set up a radio station in there. We're going to have a small antenna set up in their horseshoe parking lot barbecue area. And when from 4 p.m. to about 8 p.m., we're going to have a few members there also. And it's going to be come and go. And we're going to try to interface with people. And if some people are brave enough, we'll get them to chat on the radio with someone. Hopefully conditions are well. That solar storm the last little while upsets everything in the world for a bit. So we're still working through some of that.
Well, Dwayne, this is such an interesting hobby that a lot of people get involved in. If there are people who might be curious about the club or interested in joining, how do they track you guys down?
Well, we do have a web page and a Facebook page, Sask Alta Radio Club. You just type in Sask Alta is 2 words, Radio Club. We'll get the web page site. It's to make sure I say it right. It's Sask Alta. It's SASKALTA RC.ca. Or it might be just sorry about that. I should have had that in front of me here.
We can also
Um,
just do a Google search for that too.
just do a search on that. Yes, that's how most of us do it anyway. Whoever remembers a URL address nowadays. So that's for sure. Well, just quickly, we do hold classes. We do teach people. We have access to an examiner, certified examiner. And we had 4 people just get their license here just in the last little while. 2 of them upgraded to an advanced license. I should touch base on Field Day also, Stacy. That's
Okay.
another event that's going to be happening where we'll still be using that call sign. And our Field Day is a time where we are able to demonstrate how we can do emergency communications from a more of a remote location or off our typical grid running off of power generation. And we'll be using the call sign also at that. And that's going to take place on June 22nd at the Vermilion Fire Training Center. And people are welcome to come to see us do that. And I also have invites going out to some of the local government officials.
All right. Well, Dwayne, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today, and we look forward to the events coming up. This is such a great thing you guys are doing, and the club is just such a fun thing for people. And like you said, you actually have to talk to people around the world, get off the internet and get off your actual phone and enjoy conversations again. So thanks so much, and we look forward to speaking with you again.
Well, okay. Well, thanks for having us, Stacy. Appreciate it.